recorded live from Studio 12A in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to the Josh and Friends Podcast.
Thank you for tuning into the Josh and Friends Podcast. I am your host. My name is Josh. And this week, I have a returning guest back into the studio for the first time since 2019. And a lot has happened since that time, so I thought it'd be fitting to have him back on to discuss some of the things we've missed, as well as some current event topics that have been going on in the news. So let's just get right into this and give me a warm welcome to my old buddy, the one and only, Mr. Sean Greenfield. Woo! All right, Sean. Welcome back, buddy. Look at you. Look all, decked out like Hollywood over here, man. Look at you. Dude, the last time you were on was 2019.
Oh, yeah?
It's like 3 years ago, man.
Thank you. I failed math in ninth grade.
It's good to have you back. Time flies.
Yeah.
Time flies. Well, I mean, time flies when COVID's around and not having people back in the studio.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went through a pandemic. I think you bought a house. Did you buy a house or are you renting a house? What's going on with that?
I got a place about a year ago. Yeah.
About a year ago. And a lot has happened since this point. And you had a kid, you have a little baby girl.
Oh, one of us. Yeah.
It's awesome. Congrats on all that good stuff. And then you said you were, I don't know, doing something down in Mexico. I don't know if we want to talk about this, but or something. You're like, yeah, we don't talk about that kind of stuff on the podcast here.
Yeah.
But yeah. So everything's going good, making money, getting good grades, future so bright, got to wear shades. Like just now, but you just put them away.
Well, I take them off.
All right. All right. So, well, speaking of money, someone here in Arizona just won the Powerball. And
me.
jackpot was, I think it was like something like $473 million. And yeah, definitely wasn't either of us. But wouldn't that be awesome? What would you do with that money if? What would you do if you won that jackpot?
Did you see that when they interviewed that guy that won, and then he was just like cocaine and hookers and that? Like that, I wouldn't do that.
It's never those people that win, is it? It's like always like some old lady that's about to die or something like that, and you're like, yeah, what a waste.
Yeah. I think, well,
would you be like a Billy Madison? Would you have like all your friends around the pool, like drinking and driving around a little golf cart on your several acres of, it's porn day. Like seeing like penguins and stuff like that.
Yeah. The people at the zoo will treat you real respectable like. Yeah, no, I would, I think I just go around and do whatever I want, which is pretty much what I do anyway. So it'd be the same, but
so nothing would change.
Yeah, no. I'd probably even still go to work.
Oh, there you go. Wow. Look at you all like
and then I'd have
responsible and stuff over here.
And I'd go to therapy for all the lying that I do all the time.
That's horrible. Oh man. So my question is for the regular gambler, like who actually won this jackpot. Now, do they still gamble after this? Or is that, I mean, cause like it doesn't get like, that's the peak, right? The peak is you win a jackpot of $470 million, right?
I think it depends on what kind of, there's gamblers who gamble because they like to gamble.
Right.
And then there's the ones that are, like objective oriented, like they're aiming for that and then they get it and then they're done.
Right.
But I don't know. I think if you gamble enough that it becomes a behavior, I don't know if you quit or not.
I guess I'm thinking like someone like me, but I wouldn't be gambling like that in the first place.
Think of how what shitload of tickets you could buy with all that money.
Oh God, that's so terrible. Yeah. Okay. Oh, it's so bad. Oh yeah. I don't know. That's like one of those things where, I mean, then you have like Michael Jordan and stuff like back in the day, like getting in trouble, like, gambling and stuff like that. But they're like, it's Michael Jordan. He has like millions and millions of dollars. So What's the big deal? I don't know.
Yeah.
But are you a big gambler? Are you a gambler?
No.
Like, do you buy like lottery tickets or anything like that? Or
No. I almost won the lottery once. If I had like maybe 6 or 7 more numbers matching, I would have won.
You were that close.
Yeah, I was like, I need to practice more. Obviously.
Practice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So there's a reason why I don't like to gamble. Mainly because I'm not good at it. I have bad luck, which I think most people have bad luck gambling.
Yeah. No, I worked at this. I worked at the Sands. I lived in it when I lived in Atlantic City for a year. I worked at the Sands, and
oh no,
I know how it works.
Oh God,
from the inside out, and I was like, oh, I'm never doing that shit again.
Oh,
but I gambled. I wasted $3 at the Bellagio one time.
$3?
Yeah, I don't think I'm cut out for this.
You're like, man, that pisses me off. You know how long I worked for that $3?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I recently on TikTok or Facebook or whatever, if you type in something on Google and then it pops up on one of those social media sites because everybody sells all this shit to everybody. Anyway, I took a chance because I had this external hard drive and it died. Completely died. And I saw this thing that I was searching for, and it popped up on my, on one of my pages. And I was like, hey, looks like you're looking for a converter to rip that stuff. This takes stuff from, dead laptops and dead, external hard drives. And I'm like, ooh, awesome. I'm like excited about this. Yeah. So I was like, all right, I don't gamble. I don't know if this works. I'm just going to try it out. So I order it. Of course, it comes from like China, so it takes like 3 weeks to get here. Finally arrives. I hook it right up, and I'm like, yes, here we go. And doesn't turn on, and I'm like, okay, well, this kind of sucks. So I messaged customer service. Customer service says, you know what? That's great. So you're having a problem? Okay, we would be happy to assist. And I'm like, yeah. So here's the order number, blah blah. And they're like, oh, you used a promo code? Void. You can't send this back. Sorry. And I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that's how you guys make all your money.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm like, I went back to the page and I'm like, what promo code? Like the whole ad was like, use the promo code, blah, blah. So I'm like, oh, okay. I ordered that and it says promo code. And I'm like, so I guess, read the fine print and don't gamble, kids. Don't gamble.
Yeah. I wonder how much it is without the promo code. Probably the same amount.
Probably. So that was fun. Yeah. So that was like $58. Yeah. Boom. Damn. Gone. Gonzo. Anyway, so Elon Musk is in the news. He just bought Twitter.
Yeah.
44, not million, $1 billion.
Right.
And one thing that I do like about Elon Musk is he's not like the normal, billionaires that you see. He actually has a sense of humor, which is very rare for someone like that, that has like a...
Just wait till I get my billions.
And did you see what he bought that, news came out that he purchased Twitter, which is crazy news in itself. But then he tweeted out did you see what he tweeted out right after that?
So a few things, yeah.
It's like,
which one?
He says, next, I'm buying Coca-Cola to put Coke back in it.
Totally reasonable.
The
cocaine. You can afford that too.
That's good stuff. Coke used to have cocaine in it back in the day, obviously before we started drinking it.
Yeah.
You're like, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I don't think they had Coke Zero back then. I don't know.
Yeah, so now, did you ever know, but we were around when they started doing the new Coke. I think it was like the mid 80s or something like that.
Yeah, that was limited edition.
Yeah, they found out people didn't like it very much. But did you like new Coke?
I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, I think basically what they did was they made it sweeter because Pepsi was kind of like kicking their butt because people were like, if you do like a blind taste test, you're going to pick the sweeter one. So
I don't remember drinking Coke back then. Really, I think my cousin and me mostly stuck to Mountain Dew. Like your hat right there.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah. There you go. Right here.
See what happens when you get that laser surgery on your eyes.
Yeah. Right.
Like an eagle.
Oh man, how did you spot that? Yeah. No. Mountain Dew. That was like what is? I think Adam Carolla calls Mountain Dew nectar of the tards. I don't know if that's. I don't know if you're supposed to use those terms these days, but
you know what?
Those are not my words.
Elon owns Twitter. You can say whatever you want now. Remember when they had we were doing it mostly when they had the letters in the bottom.
Oh yeah,
and you had to spell if you could spell
yes.
Pepsi, you got some kind of.
Well, then they moved to the cap under the cap. Remember they had the if you bought the bottle ones, then you'd open the cap.
Yeah.
And I remember when I worked at the the baseball fields. And there'd be after a game, there'd be just tons like laying on the ground. And I'd check every cap and I'd go in and like, I used to piss off the mini mart guy. And he was like, okay, we can only allow you to have like 3 for person or whatever, cause I just come in and I just have a handful of caps. I must have pissed that guy off. It's like, I hate this promo. This is horrible. Oh yeah. Awesome. Now, did you like Crystal Pepsi? Do you remember that?
I think I tried that once. Not because it was bad. I just, I just didn't.
Just not a big fan of that. Yeah, that was around from. I always thought it was earlier, but we're getting older, so like it was like from 92 to 94 or something like that. I'm like, wow, is that late?
Well, you always have your favorite drink, so that's what you drink all the time, right? Like right now, I love Coke Zero.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, gotcha.
But back then it was back then it was like Mountain Dew and
what about Green River?
Oh
yeah. Do people is that like a national thing or is that just like regional or what?
I don't know. I've seen it twice in the recent years ever.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Green River. Yeah. I used to like that. I mean, not actually drinking out of the Green River where we used to swim, but where all the bodies were.
I think we drank plenty of that too. Especially me. I didn't know how to swim.
Yeah, it was a good time. Hey, Sean! Someone help out Sean over here? Yeah. Oh, God. You know what's funny? I was thinking about this. John didn't have a mini fridge down in the basement, did he?
No, he had a major fridge down in the basement.
Oh, he did? Okay, that's right. That was like in the back corner, yeah. Where Ethan was like washing his... Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh, you want a orange or grape?" And I'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Oh man, I miss that place. All right. Well, speaking of retro, Sean. Speaking of retro, Bill and Ted are back in the news. We were Bill and Ted fans back in the day, right?
Yeah, that was. Actually,
we were always kind of like Bill and Ted and Beavis and Butthead.
Pretty light way to say it. Yeah, I was Bill and Ted was my favorite movie of all time back then.
Oh, that's so awesome.
I even had I was just telling the other couple of offspring about this.
Offspring? They're not even your children. They're known as offspring.
That's for their own benefit. I was telling them I even had Bill and Ted book covers.
Whoa, that's awesome! Did you have the soundtrack? Obviously, the movie. I mean, I'm not even going to ask you about that, but
I don't know. I probably had that tape.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Tape.
No, really. When did that come out? It was like
87
it was
or
like
something like that.
CDs weren't out by then, were they?
They might have. Yeah, I think they were like just. I mean, they were out, but like not to like people like us. You know? I think they came out like 83 to 85. They started to make them more and more.
That's what I refer. Most of the things is about people like us.
Yeah. But the reason I bring that up is because the Circle K, where Rufus comes down and they're all like, the Circle K is actually, they're closing it down. They just announced that they're going to be closing it down. So what I did this weekend.
All of them?
No.
Just the one?
No, the Circle K of the Bill and Ted. It was actually filmed here in Tempe.
Oh.
Yeah. So I, of course, me hearing that news, I raced right over there. And I went to visit the Circle K, and it was funny because I'm waiting for these guys to leave so I can get a little shot of it, and they knew I was there. They're like, "You're here for the same reason," and I'm like, "Yep, I certainly am."
You should have told me. I would have sat on the curb, and then people would walk out and be like, "When did the Mongols rule China?" I don't know. I just work here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, totally, dude. It pretty much looks the same. I mean, the sign is a little different, but everything's there, and even the little spot where Rufus lands.
Whoa. Nice.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. I didn't go there at night. I went there during the day. So it would have been a whole lot cooler if I did go there at night.
Maybe. Depends.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It's kind of a rough little neighborhood over there. No. But did you see the one that came out like last year or the year before, the Bill and Ted movie?
Yeah.
How was it? Was it any good or?
I try not. I don't want to be negative.
So that's a no.
But also, it had good and bad parts. If I'm being fair, yeah, it had good and bad part. I mean, it was definitely made. With some social justice consciousness.
Yeah, it's like 30 years later.
I mean, they got to have and then continuity errors, like they're like many Bill and Ted were actually girls,
right? Oh, stuff like and they're parents now or something, right?
No, they're just older, and they turn out to be like new Bill and Ted. How do you say this?
I don't know.
They fucking save the day or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Whatever, by playing this really shitty music.
Oh.
Nowhere near as good as Wild Stallions.
No.
But I was interested to see if the two of them could actually be Bill and Ted again after all these years. Like how good they could get the character back.
Yeah.
And
because Keanu's been like on the, he's like Mr. Cool now, right? So
yeah. And Alex Winters, what does he make, like documentaries and stuff now or something?
Oh, is that what he does?
I saw him on a TED Talk once talking about computer hacking or something.
Oh,
like
crazy!
That.
I didn't know that.
It looked like he was crazy nervous too. I was like, dude, aren't you Bill S. Preston Esquire? What do you got to be nervous about? You But anyway, so no, it was okay. Like. At first, I was like, I don't know, they're not really pulling the characters back too well. And then I thought about it, and I was like, they are. They're how many years older?
Right.
Like they would be.
Yeah.
They're not doing a remake. They're doing an update, right?
Yeah.
So
that's kind of like, what's his name? If Sean Penn tried to go back and do, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Like Spicoli, yeah, a little hop,
rolls out of a van.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got it. Yeah. So now another movie that would be kind of similar is Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, Dazed and Confused.
And we were big fans of that movie. Now, I remember watching that movie with you guys. Now, what was the thing that we did that one time where we like went back and we counted? What was the thing that we were counting?
We have a notebook full of just stupid random lists that we decided to make of all kinds of things.
Because we used to watch that movie so much.
Yeah, one of them was the Wooderson, the McConaughey's character.
Oh, right.
Like how many times he says the word man.
Oh, it's man. That's movie. What it was.
You made the list, marking them with like check marks off, and then you drew like even a picture of him on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you still have that?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I still have it.
Oh, we're gonna have to find that. I want to see that.
It's in my filing cabinet with all the important documents.
That's awesome. Oh man, you're gonna have to whip that sucker out. Now, what would you say the greatest teen movie set in history would be? Because like that has to be up there, right? I mean, that has to be like the top like two, ever.
Yeah, Dazed and Confused is it's every bit like as cult as like Fast Times.
Right.
Just different, decades. But I mean, Fast Times is obviously way more well known.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then Dazed and Confused is.
Well, Fast Times also has what's her name coming out of the pool.
Well, yeah, it had people in it that
can't compete with that.
Went on
Phoebe Cates coming out of the pool.
Yeah, but were a little more well known, and they went on to a lot more things too. Dazed and Confused had what, McConaughey and
yeah, I mean it had Ben Affleck with the fuck you.
I forget about that sometimes.
No, yeah. So check this out. I heard someone talk about this, or I saw it on a TikTok or something like that, and it really this is really kind of crazy and kind of depressing at the same time. So that movie, remember that movie was set in 1976.
Sounds
remember
like my birthday?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was late on that one, but
right.
Okay.
No. Remember the whole movie, they were trying to they wanted to go to the Aerosmith concert or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so the movie's set in 1976. that movie was released in 1993, right? So remember we used to watch that back in the day. We're like, man, that's like so long ago, man. I was like, that'd be kind of cool to like be back then. And like, you know, so check this out. This is how old we are, Sean. If that movie was to be made today, it'd be set in 2005.
Well, that was a good year.
2005.
2005.
Wow, that's already 17 years ago. 17 years. Yeah, it doesn't sound right, but it's right. It's right.
Yeah, but when they made that one, they were still in school. In 2005, it'd been
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about something else now.
Okay. All right. So Sean, now are there any movies? Because I know you're way more of a movie guy as far as like, you know, original movies or, you know, films that have come out recently. Did you see the new Batman movie at all?
I did. I saw it.
What did you think of that movie?
It had, I'm going to say the exact same thing I said before. It had good and bad things.
Yeah.
I liked how it was sort of the beginning. A lot of Batman movies are like, or a couple of them at least, are about his beginning. But this one is really like really beginning, like and with some realism in it, like, you know, like to the point where he works on his own car, you know,
right.
And he's got like the engine up on it, you know, a hoist and, you know, stuff like that. Like he's building his own Batmobile. He's not just like throwing a bunch of money at, you know, like you know, his laboratory homie and, you know, having him, you know, build it or whatever. So that was kind of cool.
Now, did you like this movie, this version, better than the last, like the Christopher Nolan Batmans?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that some of the other guys did a better job at being Batman. I don't think Pattinson did a bad job at being Batman, but I think he did a shitty job at being Bruce Wayne. Because
Bruce Wayne's supposed to be the ultimate kind of like cool guy, right? Like everybody wants to be, you know, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, you know, I don't think he should be.
I mean, if this is like a Twilight movie or whatever, he's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if I was a psychologist, I'd put him on speed dial for suicide watch. Like, just give me a shout, bro. I mean, like, I know you're on the edge. You know, I'd be like worried. Yeah, he did not have like the same.
He have like the it factor. You know, there's a couple of things that bothered me about this movie. I thought it was a pretty good movie, but I didn't like. I noticed all the like whispering in the movie. It's like I'm like, why are they whispering throughout the whole movie? Like, what's going on? Like, what? Like everyone's whispering.
Yeah. He you know, he had the.
At least they didn't do the. Remember the old Batman? He's like overly like.
Yeah, he had like the little voice, changing thing.
I was like, all right.
No, I did like I liked how it was a little bit more like grounded, sort of, you know, his outfit was
toned down a little bit.
Like he had, like, I guess what I'm trying to say, and really doing that badly, is that he had stuff that you could actually have. Yeah. Which is kind of cool. Right. Because, you know, he like, it was similar to like what I liked about James Bond and Casino Royale. Was at the beginning, you know, it was like, he wasn't quite 100% 007 yet, you know. He was just getting it, you know, and like in that movie at the beginning, he got his first couple of kills and you know, and then they gave him the 007 as his promotion, right? You know, and it was like, so he had that fight in the back. Do you remember what I'm talking about? I haven't seen that movie. So anyway, for the opening scenes is he takes out this guy, you know, and he has this fight in the bathroom, and it's but I heard what's his name that plays the 007 now is like badass. Daniel Craig? Yeah. Daniel Craig is, some people are going to hate me for this if they care at all, but I think Daniel Craig is the best James Bond. I've heard that before. Yeah. You're not the first one that said that. Like, I mean, I just, you know, like there's always going to be like the purist that like get mad if you say anybody but Connery, you know, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. Like whoever does a good job does a good job. It doesn't matter, you know. Right. And I think Daniel Craig is the best James Bond. There you go. Boom. You heard it here, folks. Yeah. Sean said it. So send your hate mail to what's your address? I'm just joking. The Batman movie. I thought there's a couple of like parts where like they're like really extending the dialogue, and I'm like, kind of like speed the shit up. Come on.
This is a Batman movie. Come on here.
It was slow.
And then the Zoe Kravitz, the Catwoman, I was like, I don't know. It's like, she's all right. But there's a lot of scenes with her. And I was just kind of like, all right, let's pick. I think that movie's like 3 hours or something like that.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are longer now because of Netflix and stuff like that. I did like when people watched that. What was that movie with the gangster movie? Or it was like a gangster movie, but it was like, I don't know what it was, like 4 hours or something like that. People are like, it's so long. And I'm like, you sit there and watch these shows that are like 20 hours altogether, and then you complain about that movie that was like 4 hours long. It's on Netflix. You could pause it. You could do whatever you'd like. It's released on Netflix. And
what kind of dumbass is like sits there and watches 3 or 4 hours something and then complains about it after? Like you sat there and watched the whole thing,
right,
and then wanted to. It's like that time we listened to 18 minutes of In the God of the Vita, and then when it was over, I was like, that sucks. And your brother came in laughing.
Oh God, that's awesome. 18 minutes of, oh my God, that's great. Yeah. So Maverick Top Gun is coming out. Are you excited for the Maverick Top Gun sequel 30 years later?
Yeah, actually, that should be cool. I don't know. I look forward to it. It's been like put off long enough.
Yeah.
It should be
action packed.
I saw,
right?
I remember seeing the trailer, before it was put off last time. So I don't know how long that's been till now, but I thought it looked cool, I guess.
Now, yeah. So you just mentioned that they've been putting off Top Gun for, I don't know how long now, right?
I think it was made by the same people that put off our department changes and raises and stuff and HR at work. They made them.
But it's been put off so long that they're already talking about Tom Cruise's next movie, which is Mission Impossible 7, which is going to be coming out like next year or something like that. So
how many are they gonna have like Tom Cruise, like Mission Impossible 50, like it's gonna be called Getting Out of Bed Impossible.
Well, yeah, no kidding. Sean, I'm not even joking when I say this. I didn't even know there was Mission Impossible 3. I'm still stuck in like Mission Impossible 2. Like maybe it's because of I remember when that soundtrack came out, but I don't how many, there's 7 of these movies. There's 7. I didn't even know that, but is
that it? 7? Is there? I thought there was more.
They might be planning another one. I don't know, but I guess the films have that franchise has made like $3.5 billion.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So the least popular was when it hit an all-time low in 2006, when it only generated close to 400 million. That was a failure.
Yeah, that's what I call it too. And I wake up and I'm like, 400 million. I might as well go back to sleep for the day.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
That was Mission Impossible 3 in 2006. Really? And 2011.
That's why you stopped watching them.
Yeah, right. I'm like,
you're like, these are shit, man.
Yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. I'm like, I'm just not, who cares? Like Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. That one earned almost $700 million globally.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the one that made the most money. The one that made the most money was Mission Impossible Fallout, which made $790 million. That's freaking crazy.
I don't know what order they went in. Like I like the original one. That one was,
that's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah, of course. But also, I like the couple of newer ones. They got the guy from the Simon Pegg, the Shaun of the Dead guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he does a pretty good job. And then Henry Cavill, who I actually like Cavill. I think he's not that I don't know him. We talked a couple times before about some of the people I do know. He's not one of them. So I'm not getting paid for this, but
could have fooled me.
Yeah, no. But I think he did an awesome job in Superman and stuff like that, and The Witcher and everything. I like Cavill. He's all right. So I think he was just a dick in the Mission Impossible ones, which is actually kind of funny. But
So Sean, can we count on you next June of 2023 to be there for Mission Impossible 7?
Yeah.
There he is. You heard it here, folks.
Where are we counting on me to be? There?
Yes.
Where's there?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll be there.
All right. Well, speaking of being somewhere, you flew into Arizona here. You are live in the studio.
Yeah.
Now, which airline did you come here on to fly in here? Is it Southwest or Alaska? Or
American.
American. Okay. You're like, American?
Yeah.
I only fly American. No. So you lived out on the East Coast for a while. How many years did you live out there? 10 years, something like that? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I moved there back in 99.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So you were out there for a while.
Yeah.
Right. The reason why I asked that is, did you ever fly JetBlue?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't know why JetBlue has so many like bad things about JetBlue in the news, but did you ever have any bad experiences on JetBlue?
Okay.
Oh,
No, I don't know if you know what you're getting into because you might not know about this. I have a crazy story about JetBlue.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. Now, the thing is no, I'm not gonna blow it.
Okay.
Not what she said. Anyway.
Oh, geez.
Dude, sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it was when I lived in Florida, but it might have been when I lived in Jersey. I'm not sure, but I meet these random people like everywhere. I'm always talking. I run my mouth constantly. I'm always like, and one day I met this guy and he was like, oh, I was talking to him for a while and he's like, oh, I'm a pilot. And really, that's cool. I was going to, I went to flight school and everything. We were talking about flying planes and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I fly for JetBlue. You want to go to, dude, you want to go to like Hawaii? You want to go to like, I'm like,
dang.
No, I don't want to go to Hawaii. Of course I want to go to Hawaii, bro. Like, how are you going to ask me that? And so anyway, so he was like, yeah, I'll hook you up. I get like these free tickets all the time and all this stuff. And I was like, sweet. So he wanted to meet up. We met up, hanging out a little bit, went to get something to eat or whatever. And he's like, yeah, give me a shout. We're going to, I get these tickets, meet me here, we'll fly out there, we'll fly out there together, whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. On the day that it was supposed to be, that one of these flights we were supposed to take, he never picks up or whatever. Right.
Great.
And, so
the day of.
The day of.
Great.
And I'm trying not to pause too long. I have to remember the details of this, but the way it played out is crazy, and you'll see why in a minute. But for some reason, I ended up calling JetBlue. I ended up calling the airline to get his contact info, right, or something, or get in touch with him, because for some reason, like whatever number I had wasn't working or something like that. I don't remember what happened, but they're like, oh, we don't have a pilot by that name.
What?
I said, what? Yeah, what do you mean? And I talked to them for a little bit, and they were like, yeah, no, we don't have anybody. I said, well, that's crazy because he's got this and that and the other thing, and and he was talking about. And they're like, yeah, no, we don't know who that is.
My God.
and some other weird stuff happened like throughout the day that I found out. I'll blow it if I try to recount it here. Like, but it turns out that this guy I don't know what his deal was, but the whole thing was complete and total bullshit. Like he was basically making the entire thing up.
Wow. Is this pre 9/11 or is this post? Oh, okay. Yeah. Weird.
And to this day, I have no idea what he wanted.
What the heck? Did you ever see him again? Or
no? No, I never saw him again. And my ex at the time, we were sitting there and we were like, why was he? What was this about? And she was like, maybe he was just, trying to like, get you. I don't want to go there. It's for the I'll stay away from that.
All right.
For the children. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, I was like, dude, I almost I almost got like scammed and or possibly raped and murdered, not necessarily in that order, by a fake airline pilot. Like
that is crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, after all of that, I guess since they never heard of them, I can't say that had anything to do with JetBlue. Really, it's not their fault.
Right.
So don't sue me, JetBlue. But you'll get nothing anyway. But anyway, yeah, it was it was pretty crazy. But I used to love JetBlue. They most of my flights back and forth from Florida to here, or right on the East Coast, they always do the we're on JetBlue because they just had the best
couple-hour flight
prices.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. I used to hear good things about them back in the day, but I don't hear good things about them lately. So
I didn't know they still had an air.
Yeah,
I didn't. It's like no insult, but I didn't know.
Yeah. So the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because I decided to look it up of why they have like a bad.
See how positive I'm trying to be, though.
Yeah. Anyway. You're trying so hard to be positive.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. So the reason why I bring that up is because they have the highest rate of extreme delays and incidents when passengers had to wait on the tarmac for at least 2 hours. At least 2 hours.
Wow.
And they also had the second fewest on-time arrivals, right behind Allegiant Air. So
there's at least 2 airlines jacking things up worse than American. Is what you're saying? Okay.
Yes. Yes.
That's saying something.
Yes.
Yeah. My last flight back on I think it was American. They sent me a notification while the Lyft driver was on his way to my house at 5 o'clock.
God.
At 5 o'clock in the morning, telling me that the flight was delayed.
I'm hearing so many horror stories about flying right now.
Dude, they delayed it for 5 hours. And then when I got to the airport, it was delayed again for another couple of hours because there was something wrong with the plane.
Oh.
Apparently what was wrong with the plane was a piece of the pilot's seat was missing. Right?
Okay.
What piece?
How do you even find out that detail?
I don't know. And whatever it was, I mean, what happened to it? Did he steal it?
I don't know.
Did he like take it home? Like
weird.
And then so because of this, they couldn't find another one, and they switched planes, and we all had to go on the tram thingy to like the whole other side of the airport, and then it was delayed for another 2 hours. And
sounds fun.
Yeah. So I had plane rage by the time that we actually got on there.
Now, you didn't have any drinks before you got on, right?
No.
Okay. No, well, that's good because I think
like Diet Dr. Pepper. I think.
Good. Because I think what I'm about to talk about, this guy did have some drinks, and the person who was on his flight was none other than Mike Tyson.
I saw that. He got his ass handed to him. Just turned around and pounded him it reminded me of my childhood in the backseat of the car.
Well, it's so funny because like you have to be drunk if you're going to be doing that, right? Like who takes a big stick and tries to poke like a bear with a stick? I guess Mike Tyson was like super nice to him before the flight too. He was like taking pictures with him and being super nice, but then, maybe the alcohol kicked in or the guy kept drinking and he just kept bugging the shit out of him. And well, that's what happens. And it's funny because normally if something like that happened, people would be, like Mike Tyson did what? But luckily it was on film and the guy's all, you could tell the guy's all drunk, like, and he's like, he's all like faces all pounded in. I'm like, dude, like normally back in the day, people would get like millions and millions of dollars to do that.
I know.
With gloves.
The thing is, you look at him, right? And he's like, he's alive. Mike could have just
literally punched a hole through his head.
Dude, I mean, he could have turned the seat behind him into a recliner.
Right.
With the guy laying and like just all laid out, just hating life.
Oh, God. Yeah. Yeah. So another thing in the news is the Johnny Depp trial. Have you seen any of that?
Well, I see the
little news clips of it. Yeah. And they they had all the details of that where Amber Heard, like he pissed her off or whatever. So she literally shit in his bed.
Yeah. You think about Think about how awful that is. Just can you imagine what would it take for you to go like just deuce out on somebody's?
Well, I'm not a prankster, but it's funny that you brought that up because I heard George Clooney talk about how he had a roommate, and George Clooney he's like notorious for playing pranks on people. And he had this roommate, and this roommate had a cat. And this cat, what he would do is that the roommate had the little litter box like in another room or something like that. And George Clooney, every time this guy would go to work, he would literally scoop out all the poop and he'd throw it away. And he's like, I'm really worried about my cat. It's not going to the bathroom. And he's like, I don't know, man. Like, I have no idea. And he goes, I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so then the guy comes back and George Clooney literally, he went into the litter box and he took a dump into it. And it was like this big, giant dump, right? And then the roommate freaked out. He was like, oh my God.
See, it's okay when Clooney does it.
Well, it's George Clooney.
But it's awful when the way I even come up with the idea. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
story of my life.
So yeah, Amber Heard. This is not great PR for her. It's kind of like I
saw yesterday, or maybe it was this morning, the thing she fired her PR person.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Well, yeah. Maybe she should fire her therapist because that seems to be not going well either. But there's right now, as we speak, there's actually a petition out that over 3 million people have signed. 3 million people so far, calling Amber Heard to be removed from the new Aquaman movie.
Yeah, I saw
Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
So it's going to be released next year in March of 2023. And they have removed people from movies before. Like, who did they remove? They removed, Kevin Spacey from that one. Was it House of Cards or was that another movie or something? I can't remember what it was.
It's true. They did remove him, but they also removed Johnny from Pirates.
Oh, that's right.
And so, I mean, like, yeah.
And he was set to make like $22.5 million or something like that in the new Pirates movie or something like that.
Right.
And, yeah.
I think it's a little more significant if you ask me. He is Jack Sparrow.
Oh, right.
That's and the movie is about him. Like Aquaman, it's not even about her.
Right.
It's like it's a little bit of a different thing, but it's still it would definitely be a double standard.
Yeah.
Well, not that there's a shortage of those going on, but yeah.
He's like, I have a little tiny dog. Like this is like this doesn't come from the dog. Like, this is like a human, like, it's his human feces here we're talking about. And it was on like his pillow or something like that, or in front of his bed. So now just picturing this in my head, like, what is this? Anyway, so now, Sean, have you ever dealt like with a crazy chick like that? I mean, as far as where'd your eyes go? No, like, what is the craziest thing like a woman has done to you like that? I mean, because if you've been in the dating scene or whatever, like there's always a story. There's always a story out there. I don't know if you have one.
Yeah.
Are you trying to think of one, or are you trying to narrow one down?
Yeah, this is that. In fifth grade or sixth grade, I remember coming back to school after summer vacation, and then the teachers would be like, oh, okay, who went on a trip? And everybody's hand would go up, and there'd be too many to count. And she'd be like, okay, who didn't? And then like there would be 3 or 4. Much easier question.
Right.
So like that's kind of like this.
Sorry.
By the way, I was always the one that didn't go on.
Yeah.
Not so in this case, though.
Yeah.
Finally, I made it. Yeah. Oh my God.
Well, I have one. If you want to like,
let's go with that.
Spark your. Okay. So one of the craziest things that a girl has done to me is I was dating this girl when I first moved here to Arizona, and I was passed out, and I woke up to her slapping me in the face, and I was like, I woke up and I was like, what's going on? And she's like, your phone, it's going off. And I'm like, yeah, so what? So is that one of your girls? And I go, what what are you talking about? And like, so it's funny. It's like, as far as physical violence, I have a zero tolerance for that. So basically I was like, you need to get out.
Well, if you hadn't woke up, you wouldn't have known about it.
Right. You need to get out. And then I checked my phone, and it was my roommate. It was asking me a question of some sort. And I was like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well worth that time.
Yeah. So that was kind of like a crazy moment. Yeah. So
I think this one is we laugh about it now, so I guess it's okay. And
right.
I'm prefacing with that because she listens to your podcast actually. And,
oh yeah.
So one night, leaving names out because
sure
you'll know. And I think we already told Derek about this too. So anyway, we went to my friend Pete came out this is when I lived in Florida. He came out from a couple of my buddies. A few of them were in the Army, and they would spend their leave coming out to hang out with me in Florida because it was
because you're in Florida.
Yeah, of course. I mean, my family or Florida. Yeah. No, Pete came out. He was staying with us for his couple of weeks. And when you're in the Army and you have 2 weeks of leave and you go to Florida, of course you're gonna go. What are you gonna go to Florida? The nudie bar? No, of course not. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So anyway, we go there. With a couple other people that we knew from when we lived there. So it was me and her and a couple of our friends and Pete, and we were at the this place called Scarlett's. No, it wasn't like a shithole, but it's probably in a condemned building by now. I don't know. But anyway, that's not the point. So I was over by the entrance for some reason, and one of the kind young ladies that worked there was conversing with me and inquiring as to whether or not I would be obliged to give her a ride home. So I was like, I'm with some people here. I didn't drive here, all of that. And I see her look over and she goes, her eyes open wide. She goes, oh shit. And she fucking bails and like just takes off. And I'm like, I'm confused. And then I see this charging bull just smashing tables aside and just headed right straight for me.
Like a real bull?
No.
Oh, you're talking about.
I'm figuratively speaking here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah, but the imagery is very similar. And so she runs up and she goes, "You fucker." Can I say that? Anyway.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I am. And so. I maybe sound like R2D2 and all the bleeps, but anyway, she thought I was talking to one of the dancers or whatever, and he's trying to and so she started attacking me, like throwing karate kicks and stuff.
Oh my god!
And trying to like punch me in the windpipe and stuff or something, and so the security guys like immediately like throw us out, throw us out the front door, and where she continues to attack me on the exterior of the building, and and what sucked was she was we had a fairly volatile thing, so she would attack me from time to time, and I would laugh.
Yeah,
because and it would make it worse.
Yeah, of course.
And so she's trying to inflict bodily harm upon my person, and then I'm laughing, and the security people they're laughing too, kind of, because and she hurls some insults at me and then runs around the side of the building, and I'm standing there like I didn't do anything,
right?
And so the security guy, he looks at me, he goes, dude, you can come back in, but she can't. And
don't tell me you went back in.
Well, everybody was in there. No, I'm playing. I didn't go back in. He goes, but I started laughing because he goes, this happens all the time.
Oh my God, I bet.
And I'm standing, I'm like, I'm looking over at the spot on the pavement where I was standing, where she was like trying to, like attack me and kill me. And I'm like, this happens all the time. He's like, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
Because like, girls, like, they think they always want to go into a strip club with a guy. Dude, but
I know.
It's it's a recipe for disaster.
And I was just like, this happens. This so more like this. Like,
Sean? Were you just
wait a second? What happened to all that 1 in a million?
Yeah, no. Sean, were you just looking at that girl? You're like, yeah, that's why we're here. I was looking at. You were looking. Were you looking at her tits? Yeah, yeah, I was.
You know what? Stop including logic into this discussion.
Sorry.
Okay. So no, I looked at him and I said, I appreciate that, dude, but I got to go take care of this. So I went around the corner, and dude, I saw her, and she was kind of like crouched down, like against the wall, like crying. And I was like, oh man, like I didn't even do anything though, And so I went over and I started to try to talk to her, and she started attacking me again. So I was like, okay, we got to go. So I said, I'm going to go inside and get everybody, or tell them we got to go. So I go in, I went to Pete, and I was like, bro, we got to get up out of here. We got kicked out. He was like, oh man. And the thing was, so this is a detail that I left out. I was wearing a t-shirt from the place.
Yeah.
Nothing says.
Wait, you were wearing like one of their t-shirts, the strip club t-shirt?
Yeah. Nothing says upstanding citizen, like going to the nudie bar with their own t-shirt on it. Like I think you could get a discount or something going in. I
bet.
I liked the t-shirt. It was a nice shirt. What can I say? So we but the thing was Pete, being an army guy, Pete was like, oh, I like that shirt, how cool are you going to be when you go back to the barracks with a, nudie bar, t-shirt.
Right. Sure.
I don't know. But anyway, so I was like, oh, dude, it's yours. You know how I am. I'm just, if you see something that I have and you say you like it, I give it to you. Like, that's just what I do. Nobody do not like my car, by the way. Anyway, or my house. You hate it.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, oh yeah, it's yours, dude. When we get back, I'll give it to you. Well, that's a side note that comes up again in a minute. But so we go out, we get in the car. She's driving angrily. We get back to the house, hits the brakes, slides up like part way up onto the lawn, jams into the park, and yells, "Get out!" And then at this point, I'm kind of wondering if is she talking to Pete or both of us? Just me? I don't know what's happening. Should I get out?
Yeah.
And so we get out. Pete just goes right into the house. He's like, "Fuck this! I don't want. I'd rather get shot at."
That'd be me.
Yeah.
I don't want to get shot.
I get out. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning. She gets out. I think the car is still running even. Starts attacking me in the front lawn. With the eagle's claws, like Catwoman shit going. Rips the shirt to shreds.
Sounds like Wolverine.
I'm like Wolverine shit. Like, I've never seen somebody rip a t-shirt to shreds like this in real life before. Like,
jeez.
In the movies, yes. In real, I didn't think it was possible.
Sounds like Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Now the funny part is, I don't actually care about her like trying to claw me to death and kill me.
Yeah.
I looked at it and I go, I gave that shirt to Pete. Damn.
That was Pete's shirt. I promised I'd give it to him.
Yeah, that was my remark. And so, and then there's pieces of it like blowing away off the lawn, into the neighbor's yard.
That was like really to shreds.
It was really to shreds. I'm not making this up. And so I'm standing out in the front, and this is beautiful. We're standing out in the front lawn in the neighborhood at 2 or 3 in the morning. I'm without a shirt now, obviously, yelling at each other like just 100% like white trash shit in the middle of the thing. This is
Florida, man.
This is Florida. Right? I knew that was going to come up. And
all your crazy stories are in Florida. Well, yeah, not all of them, but
yeah. Yeah, there's so many.
Feel bad for Pete.
She goes in. Yeah, I know. Poor Pete. she goes inside, slams the door, locks me out, goes right back into the bedroom, closes the door, locks it.
That was a good night.
Pete opens the door, lets me in. I look at him and I'm like, well, dude, it's me and you out here. And
jeez,
time to pass out,
Wow.
Next day it was cool. Like, I mean, everything was.
The next day was cool.
Obviously, everything ended up.
Next day, everyone's sobering up. Everything's good now.
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Everything worked out good in the end.
Yeah, except
right?
for Pete's shirt. But
Now the question is, did you ever go back to a strip club with her again?
probably.
You
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't remember specifically like the time frame, but yeah, I imagine we probably.
All right. Well, there you go.
It was a thing, we had this thing. It was, like
Sounds like a beautiful thing.
attack me, try to kill me, and then, but we'll be okay.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
Break up to make up.
Yeah. Now, now we had it was volatile, but we're actually get along really well now. So
Good.
I guess
Let's move on to something a little bit more happy.
Well, you asked. I mean,
Sorry.
not the shortest story, but hopefully the imagery was there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna finish this off here with a little bit of music news going on, and
Whoa. Okay.
Van Halen is back in the news.
Really?
Which is weird because you're thinking to yourself, how could Van Halen be back in the news without Van Halen?
Yeah.
But what's going on is there is discussion of a Van Halen kind of like tribute concert or tour or something like that could be going on. And David Lee Roth he was talking to like Alex Van Halen and Joe Satriani, and they actually reached out to, I believe it was Jason Newsted, formerly of Metallica. And Jason Newsted was like, he's kind of like the one that was like, oh, that kind of sounds like a bad idea. I don't want, how do you replace Eddie Van Halen? It's kind of I don't think we could do it justice or whatever like that, but
it's interesting. It's because it seems like, okay, take something like the Beatles, right? How many tributes and things of them have been going on over the years? And even remember the movie when it came out, like what was it called again? Me and John went to see it. But anyway,
Backbeat?
Yeah.
Was it Backbeat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we all went. Yeah.
We all went to that. Yeah.
Like the early years of,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You guys were always more about them than I was. And I was just like, all right, we're going to the movie. Let's go.
Yeah.
So there's going to be popcorn, right?
Yeah. We're going to be all hanging out.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. Backbeat. Yeah.
It was, but it's like, it seems like a perfectly great, thing to do. And, nobody really has much discussion about it after a certain period of time or whatever. Right. Maybe it depends on the band or whatever, but I would have to say there's probably a lot more Beatles purists than there is for Van Halen.
Definitely.
But, but for Van Halen, it's
there's lots of different Van Halen versions of the band though too, so
there is, but it's just like but the band is named after him.
Yeah. Two of the guys. Yeah.
Two of the guys and his brother.
Right.
But I haven't been necessarily a fan of all of the different, things that they've done. I mean, I don't think anybody could say
that
I haven't been one of the biggest Van Halen, since you've known me, but I haven't liked all of it.
Right. Right.
And,
now, I think that they should kind of like if they're going to do something like this, I don't know if you remember when Freddie Mercury died, but they had like it was like a big concert they had where they had a bunch of people come out and sing their songs, and they had like Brian May playing guitar on some of the songs and stuff like that. Yeah. Maybe do something like it, because they didn't do any of the, when did what's his name? He died like right around the pandemic or something like that, Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
So they couldn't do like a proper kind of deal. So maybe that's why they're doing this now, but I don't know.
I'll be interested to see how it goes. I feel like depending on who's involved and everything, I mean, they could really blow it, or sounds like a really obvious remark actually, but they could do a pretty good job.
Well, yeah, they still have the lead singers. I mean, the lead singers aren't, well, Dave has kind of like lost his, voice over the years, but if they got everybody on board, like, come on, like bring on, if you could actually bring on.
Is there a list of who's involved?
Well, no, I mean, I think it's just kind of like a rumored kind of deal. Well, Jason Newsted definitely said that he was contacted. So that part is legit. Now, if they had like Wolfie even and Michael Anthony and Sammy Hagar, everybody like that, that'd be kind of cool, right? Yeah. Even you could maybe have Gary Sharon sing a song or whatever, but just to make it like a whole big thing, a whole big tribute, it'd be kind of cool, you know? So I don't know. Yeah. We'll have to see how that all pans out.
Yeah. But they've, you know, it's just, I guess I just have to reserve judgment on it, honestly, because they've had some things where I was pretty excited about it, and then it turned out to be pretty disappointing.
Yeah,
you know, I felt like when they made Me Wise Magic, you know, which was like one of the song that they made
for the best of,
where they had, you know, Dave come back for that song, you know, which I think they made for like was that like the Twister soundtrack or something? No,
the Twister one was that was the one that Hagar. I think that was the last one that he was involved in before they broke up.
Is that right? Okay.
Was what was that called? Shine on.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. That's right. Right. That's
Humans
right.
Being. That's what it was,
that's
right?
That's what it was.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that one in forever. But right. Anyway, it was just shitty. It was like horrible movie.
The CGI is like.
Let's go chase hurricanes and tornadoes. What says the jackass who tried to surf in one.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, I looked forward. You know, I thought that was a good one, and then you know, it gave me a lot of hope that they were gonna pull it together, and they did.
They.
And then when they did, they came out with I think they had that Live at the Tokyo Dome album, and that sucked. I got it for free. I wanted my money back.
We'll just see what happens as far as a reunion or a tribute concert or whatever. But
me and Nate got to have a reunion concert one of these days back at the Game Farm Park.
What's the little doggy do things like that?
Yeah, we had a talent show one time, and we blew it. So I'm waiting for our comeback, Nate. You know,
I'm sure he'd be down, right?
No, Nate's.
He actually records stuff like
ass. I'm like, okay, dude, nice.
Yeah,
it's a good thing we blew it at the talent show, or you would have been stuck with me all year long.
Oh, yeah.
Just play, but yeah.
Well, hey, Sean, it has been fun. It's awesome to have you back in the studio. Can't wait to have you back in another 3 years. Just joking. Hopefully not. But we need to have you and John on for another reunion, right?
Dude,
it's been way too long.
It would have been when I was listening to that, you know, like I actually listened to that one twice. The first one.
Oh, the first one?
The first one he was on, because that one just cracked me up, and he talked about some stuff that I totally forgot about. And he even talked about some stuff that I didn't know. And you're talking about the dude that is basically my Siamese twin since fifth grade, you know, and I'm like, how did I not know about that?
Oh, that's so great.
And I laughed so hard that my stomach hurt. I was like, not many people can make my stomach hurt from laughing that hard, but then John, right? And so I was like, man, I missed that guy.
Yeah.
He doesn't live like incredibly far from me, but I never see him.
I'm going to be up this summer. So let's try to in August. So let's try to all hook up, and then we'll have to we'll have our quick reunion there, and then we'll have another one where we could do like another show here.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome. It'll be like you know, we'll bring some posters and stuff, and you know, set it up like back in the basement.
We were like knock on the John's old house, and we're like, hey man, can we go down in the basement and just hang out? And they're like, excuse me, who are you?
The basement reunion tour.
But anyway, man. Yeah. Well, hey, thank you again for coming on. It was fun. It's always fun talking to you guys, and we'll have to do it again, man.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for the invite. You know, I've been looking forward to it. So
awesome. Hey, all right. For Sean Greenfield, I'm Josh, and as always, thank you for being a friend. Yeah.